Hello, you absolute legends. Welcome back to the channel on what is a blooming freezing cold day here in Lincolnshire. You can see I'm all togged and booted. I'm actually not sounding too great because also I'm not very well and haven't been for a couple of weeks. However, there's things that we need to do, including maintenance on my smart car. It's a smart 450 ForTwo. It's a 2004 plate. And if you haven't seen the videos on the channel, around about a year ago, in fact, a year ago today, Dad and I were rebuilding the engine and putting it all back together. Now these smart cars, they fail, the engines fail anywhere between 40 and 100,000 miles. And one of the signs of them failing mainly is the fact that they start to use oil. Things that fail, the valve stem seals, the piston rings, and they just start burning oil to a point where actually, before this blew, I was putting in sort of a litre of oil every 1,000 miles, and you would agree that that is excessive. So it's been a year on the road, and I've topped the oil up maybe 3 or 4 times now, and I've done 10,000 miles in that year. So I'm on 86,000 miles now. And in this video, we are going to empty the oil, we're going to replace it, do the yearly oil service, and put a new filter in as well. I have been topping the oil up as we go. However, I've got my big oil can here and we're going to do a complete oil change, and I'm going to show you how to do it, because in this version, thankfully, I've got a sump plug. In the earlier smart cars, no sump plug, so you had to suck the oil out with a pump. What a terrible design idea. Let's replace the oil, let's replace the filter and see how bad it is after a year of motoring and 10,000 miles after that engine rebuild. Yes, this is to scale. This is the oil filter for the smart car. It's tiny. The box is about sort of 2 inches by 2 inches. This is the Bosch oil filter. It was $6.99 on eBay. It includes a new gasket as well. P9127 for your smart 450 if you need it. What I'll do is just open the box and show you the size of the oil filter. There it is, and just for comparison to the box, that is the size of the oil filter. So small little filter, but it does an important job. You're going to need this, obviously, your new oil, drip tray, tools. But yeah, I wanted to show you that. That's the oil filter. So I like to get all my tools ready and waiting for doing this job. Of course, things that you're going to need: your oil filter, 27mm socket for your oil filter, a vessel to store the oil in, gloves, axle stands of course for safety, and a jack. You're also going to need another socket for the sump plug, and we'll find out what that is in a minute because I'm not actually under the car trying to take it off yet. You'll also need a funnel, jug, and a vessel to put the used oil in, because it's not the sort of thing that you can just tip in the garden or throw away in your bin. It needs to be disposed of correctly. Let's get the car jacked up, let's get the axle stands in, and the first port of call will be to get the oil out. So jacking the car up.
Okay, son.
Make sure we get the axle stand in right on this side. Do you need any more space?
Let it down, son.
Send it up the second side. Axle stands are in. Alright, so the car is jacked up, it's nice and safe. You can see you've got the axle stands in. Now we can have a look underneath the car. Here is the oil filter housing. You can see that 27mm piece on there. Next port of call though is to take the sump plug out and get the oil drained. Okay, there's the sump plug, and actually it's not, as I recall, it's not a socket, it's a hex head. So we're going to need the Allen key kit. A little bit of oil leak there. if you can see. A little bit of oil leaking from that, that mounting there, so we're going to have to look at that as well. But let's have a look at this. Well, the expert's come to give his opinion. He's come to look at that oil leak. Right, okay. So I've worked out that it is an Allen key fitment, and it's the H8, so 8mm. In there, there we go. Next thing I need is my drain tray, obviously. There are lots of people moaning at me on the YouTube that I don't do any spannering. Well, you're going to see me do some spannering now. It is a basic oil and filter change, but I'm going to do some spannering. Right, I've got my glovesies on. Now let's take this off. Got my tray in position, and it's best practice to replace these sump plugs, but for the sake of this, I don't actually have a new one. There we go. That's not what to do. Don't drop your sump plug in the tray, because you end up doing a crystal maze style experiment. All the oil's coming out, leave that to drain. You can see it's black. Good job I had my gloves on, else that could have gone very wrong. So that's draining. Make sure that the wind doesn't blow your oil all over like it has here. It's a very windy day. I've made a bit of a mess there. I didn't go as well as could be. There's a reason I don't do spannering, look. But it's a good job I had my gloves on. I've put them on my blooming thing now. This isn't going very well at all. A little bit of collateral damage, but not too bad. Right, I've got my new gloves. Made a right pig's ear of that, didn't I? That's in here as well. So the sump plug, obviously I dropped in the oil like a silly sausage. So I just cleaned it off with some white spirit and a pick to get all the stuff out. There's an O-ring here. We're going to see if we've got a new O-ring. That's going to just blast it off with some air as well. How not to do an oil change. But I'm learning. A lot of you wanted to see me spannering, so I'm doing some spannering. Oh, made a right mess on the floor there as well. I think I'll still be the apprentice for now. This is a handy little kit that Dad's got. It's a toolkit full of O-rings, all different O-rings. That's great, that. Look at that. Brilliant. Love that. There's the old O-ring. New one's been fitted. And that is nice and clean now after some sausage dropped it in the oil tray. Right, so while that's draining, it's time to take the oil filter off. Again, new drain tray. It's a blooming windy old day round here. There we go. Well, maybe I won't need a new drain tray. Yeah, well, I'll just put that there. Put the new drain tray there. So this is what we're going to be removing now, the actual filter. And you can see that I've got ready my 27mm, which fits nicely on there. We'll take that off next. Yep, it's cracked off nicely. Now don't put your filter housing in your box. And there she goes. There's the old filter. I've let that go into the old drain tray, as you can see. And it's just draining out there. There's the filter housing. Let that drain off on there. Okay, so filter's there, housing's there, sump plug is ready to go back in. It's just still all dripping out of there. Let it drain. But for a, I don't know, 700cc car, it's quite a lot of oil there. Takes 3.5 litres. See how filthy it is. Dad's in the conservatory. He's going to manage from a distance because he's talking me through this. You might laugh at that, but not a practical person. Next protocol in is to put the sump plug back on the car. I've got my torque wrench as well. That needs torquing to 30 Newton meters. It's obviously the reverse of pulling the sump plug out. Make sure you don't knock your drip tray over. That would be bad news. And make sure you don't cross thread your sump plug, because that would be really bad news. Got my torque wrench set to 30 Newton meters. Didn't need much at all. So sump plug's back in. I'll just move this drip tray because it's still dripping from the oil filter. The last thing I want to do is drop me phone in there. That's there. And I'll just wipe away from that sump plug the oil. And the reason I'm doing that is if it's leaking, I'll see. Hopefully. There we go. Put that rag on the floor there and just clean that out as well. From there, put that there. Right, now it's time to put the filter in. Oh, filter time. And there's the state of the old filter. It's certainly ready for being changed. Good practice anyway. Dad's having a look. What can you see? It doesn't look like there's any metal on there to me, which is good news. Right, next bit then. So I've taken the O-ring, the old O-ring, off the filter housing. Remember where that comes from, because there's loads of different grooves. Remember where it comes from. In this one, it comes from the top groove there. So that needs washing now, in the white spirit. And what we're going to do also is just use my white spirit and my drip tray and just clean all around the housing here. Just where it's all dirty and all in there. Just all the housing. Just where it's all mucky. Just clean that off as well. Good. So now it's time to fit the filter and the O-ring to the housing. New filter is installed, O-ring is installed. There's no right and wrong way on these. There could be on some, but not on this one. I had to poke my finger through the hole here just to open it up a little bit to fit on the interior. I didn't want to force it and damage it, so that's installed. I'm going to take some of the new oil with my finger and just wipe some oil on the O-ring. There. I've made a bit of a mess there, but that's not the end of the world. There we go. Sometimes you can prime your oil filters. I'm not going to prime this one. Now to put it back on the car. We decided we were going to prime it. Again, make sure you don't cross-thread that. That'll need torquing up. 25 Newton meters. So actually, I nearly had a drama there in that the torque wrench didn't click and I over tightened it. Thankfully, Dad was on hand to see what was going on. It's not technically the right torque wrench for the job, but thankfully, we haven't caused any damage. So the next bit to do is to use your torque wrench to torque it up. There we go. Just a tad over. There we go. It won't make a massive click like when you do a tyre, because we're torquing to 25 Newton meters. Good. Oil filter housing's back on. Sump plug's tight. Just going to make sure there's no oil on there. Wipe all the muck from around there. Now to fill her up. Well, as you're probably aware then, if you're watching this, the engine in your smart car is in the back, which is nice and warm for the inspector when she sits there. I'm going to put a bit of oil in, just to fill it up. Obviously I won't be able to check the levels because it's not on the deck yet, but put some oil in it, start her up, make sure we've not got any leaks. And there's your engine bay. It's held in by a single nut and bolt there, like a wing nut. There's your engine. Here's your oil filler, and this is one of the inspector's water bottles, which I'll keep in the back of the car and is very handy for propping up this engine bay. Here we go. Make sure there's no mayonnaise or anything in there. Looking good. Let's get some oil and a funnel. The funnel man is here. Thank you very much. Excellent. Right, now to put some oil in it. I'm going to double check my handbook just to make sure that my instructions are right, but I think it's 3.5 litres. Well, I'm glad I checked that because actually I've checked my handbook and it's 3 litres, not 3.5 litres. I'm using MN Energy 5W30. It's fully synthetic. I'm going to put 3 litres in it and start her up. One litre. My apprentice is going to refill the oil for me, thank you. That was a good way of doing that.
Stops it glugging.
It does stop it glugging, I like it. Right, litre number 2. Litre number 3, please.
Is it 3?
Yep. Thank you. Okay, so the capacity is 3 litres. I'm not going to put the entire 3 litres in at the moment because it's going to be easier to put some more in than take any out. So I've got 2.5 litres in there now. Now I'm going to check for some oil leaks. There you go. Right. Let's have a look, see if we've got any oil leaks. Not that I can see at the moment. Let's start the car up. Put the cap back on. Last thing you want is oil everywhere. Ignore the condition of my smart car at the moment. Here we go. Make sure the oil light's gone out, which it has. Excellent news. And now let's look underneath it, make sure we've not got any leaks. Looking good. Okay, so it's got up to sort of one blob on the temperature gauge. We've had it running for 3 or 4 minutes just to make sure there's no leaks. There is no leaks. We're going to put it on the deck and then make sure that we get the oil level correct.
Is something quite that.
Right, so now the car's on the deck. I'm going to let it settle down for 20 minutes or so. Then I'll read the dipstick and top it up. There's plenty of things you can do in that 20 minutes. I've opted for a nice cup of tea in the warm. Okay, so I have let the car settle for 20 minutes. Hopefully that's enough time for it to get through the system, filter through the system and show the correct level on the dipstick. Let's clean the dipstick off. And because it's all nice and new and fresh, you might have to look a little bit harder. And that is the size of your dipstick on your smart car, by the way. It's quite small. It's just reading on the bottom of the dipstick there. I would suggest it certainly needs another 500 mil. So there's now 3 litres in the engine. If I remember rightly, actually, I think 3.4 litres is probably the most optimum we've found. Again, manufacturer says 3 litres, but we shall see. Just touching the bottom of the stick there with 3 litres. I think we need some more. 3's gone in. As I say, I think it's taken 3.5 before. So there's 3 litres in the car. This is another half. I'm going to tip the whole lot in. I'm confident. And we'll let that settle. Right, now we've got 3.5 litres in there. Let's check the dipstick again. Perfect. There we go then. Hope you've enjoyed the video, a little video of me doing some spannering for a change. Yes, I'm a novice. Yes, I'm sure there were times where you were shouting at your mobile phone, your laptop, your tablet, going, John, what are you doing? Well, that's not the best way to do it. But it goes to show that a total novice can do some spannering. I know it's only an oil and filter change. It's taken me about 40 minutes, not including the 20-minute waiting time. If you've enjoyed the video, thank you. Let me know in the comments below. What should I do next? Weld up the Rover 75? Thanks for watching, genuinely. Thumbs up, please, if you haven't already done so. And subscribe. Oh, here we're in trouble now. Dad's here.
These are the strongest straps known to man.
Nice.
Strongest straps known to man.
Yeah, I'm sat on the tailgate. And I'm not a light guy. What do you think?
Tested to destruction.
Get out of the way, I'm doing my video. Oh yeah, you go put the kettle on, top banana. Have a great day, thanks for watching. Goodbye.